Hey everyone, this is your update for October 2024. Happy spooky month to everyone. Like many of you, this is my favorite month, and it's finally here. This is update part one, mostly because I have, right now I had two appointments scheduled, and then I had a third one this morning, and I may have a fourth and fifth one, but I'll know in the morning when I make the calls. So I saw my primary doctor. I had a list of things I wanted to talk to him about, and I didn't really get to the list because the visit was awful. It was I it was like Jekyll and Hyde, you know. I've sat here and I've sung the praises of my doctor for months now, talking about how great he is, and he has been historically. But the entire visit was just it felt like the entire visit was just him being irritated I was there. Like he was irritable, he was condescending, he was very aggressive in how he was talking to me. Like he just seemed kind of pissed off at me for some reason. And I can't say he was having a bad day because the walls in the doctor's office are thin. So you can hear the patients next door when he's talking to them. And he saw two people before he saw me, and their visits went fine. So something I did must have just irritated the ever living crap out of him. And yeah, it wasn't a pleasant visit at all. It's Monday now. It was on Thursday, and I was going to record after the visit, but I know this is going to sound super dramatic, but I was kind of shell shocked by it. Because if you've watched the stuff and any videos of mine, especially the What's Wrong with Me stuff, you know that historically I have bad luck with doctors, especially male doctors. And it was like some kind of like, I don't want to say trauma, but it was like some like trauma response I had where I shut down. And it kind of pissed me off because at myself, well, I was already pissed off about the visit because I didn't enjoy it. But I was mad at myself because I don't know, I should have said something, should have stuck up for myself. But I was tired. All these visits always past my bedtime. I was in a lot of pain. I had a setback that night, so my head was just throbbing. On top of the vertigo, on top of the dizziness, it was not a fun time. And then I had this doctor being like, "Raw" at me, like he was claws out, man. Like, to give one example, I wanted to show him some kind of bumps on my skin, and he started going off about how I'm not a specialist. I can't answer all your questions. I don't have the, I forget what words he used, but he's like, I don't have the expertise or whatever to diagnose everything. And I was just kind of okay. And I was unzipping my hoodie to show him the bumps, and I was like, okay. And like I just zipped it back up. I was like, never mind. He's like, no, 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 show me, show me. Go ahead and show me. And then anything else? And I'm like, well, yeah. And I showed him another problem I'm having, and he goes, okay. Like I'm not exaggerating. I know it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic. I'm not. And this is a very soft-spoken, pleasant to be around guy historically. And now all of a sudden, I've said before in other videos, not just these videos, but in other videos, that I think I emit some kind of pheromone that makes people aggressive to me. I thought that growing up when I got bullied by my mom, by people at school, I was a subject of ridicule, bullying, getting beaten up, assaulted. But I always attributed it to male doctors being kind of know it all. Like they don't listen to you, they just tell you what they think they know, even if it applies to you or not. So that visit went really bad. And I said I left there just completely blown away. And that's why I didn't record a video. I needed some time to decompress, I guess. Maybe I'm just super sensitive. He did mention about another doctor here in town that could possibly help me more. And I'm going to take him up on that, I think. I think I'm going to switch doctors. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to overreact to it. But it was a really shitty visit. A really, really shitty visit. But I do have a couple referrals. These might be the visits later this month whenever I can schedule them, which I'll call this morning. I have a podiatrist to go see because I've been having problems with my foot, my right foot in particular. And I have what I think is called a pulmonary doctor to look at my chest I feel like everything is related somehow because I was trying to show the doctor what was wrong with my foot and issues I have, not just with my foot, but other stuff down there. You know, he's going on about how he can't diagnose everything. And I'm like, in my head, and I should have said this, I'm thinking your job is to just listen and guide me to the right people. What the fuck is your problem? Like I should have said, no, I shouldn't have said that. That would have been like, I'm not an unprofessional. I wanted to say that. But yeah, I have those two appointments to make. So those might be in this month as well. So this visit might be, or this video might be longer than anticipated. And then I had an impromptu visit with the pain management guy that I said I wasn't going to see anymore. But this was a video, like a virtual visit. I tried to refill a prescription, but I had to call them to do it. So I did. And they said I had to schedule an appointment. So I did. And that was this morning. It was fine. It was fine. I didn't talk to the actual doctor at all. Yeah, it was awkward and their microphones are bad and I couldn't understand them. And I was super tired because it was way past my bedtime and my sleeping meds were kicking in. And I don't think people understand when I say I work thirds. I don't think that registers in their brain. It's like, well, can I call you back later? I'm like, I'll be in bed. I'll be asleep. That was the first person. Then the other lady said something about in the afternoon. And I'm like, well, I'll be in bed. Like, can you put a note in your patient file that this patient works thirds? They live an hour away. They don't have reliable transportation to you. Because I have to keep repeating it. And they're like, oh, every time. So I thought I had that squared away. Another virtual visit scheduled in December at a really bad time, 2 in the afternoon, because of course. So I have to call and get that switched if I decide to keep it. I got a call today from the actual doctor saying, hey, I need to talk to you about something before I can refill your prescription. Please call me back. About an hour later, another call from, I assume, a nurse that works there. And she's like, hey, the doctor called you. He needs you to call him back. Call back at this number. And I'm thinking, it's like noon, 1 in the afternoon. I'm asleep. Not for Pete's sake. The second lady asked if I wanted to make an appointment for any procedures, any kind of injections or anything like that. I told her, I live an hour away. It's a 2-hour round trip for me. We are not positive the car will make it all the way there and back. We try to stay in town if possible until we can get the funds to fix everything, which is problematic since I can't work as much. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, I got you. You live all the way in that city. Wow, yeah. And then before we hang up, she asks, we need to schedule you for a urine test. I'm like, again? I took one when I went there in August. Like, do they just, what? Okay. And I get where they're coming from. Like, they want to make sure that you're not on anything. Like, if you test positive for marijuana, they will stop seeing you. They will drop you as a patient. So I get they want to make sure you're not doing anything technically illegal if you don't have a card here in the state. And I don't because I don't smoke. Which is also like, do you smoke cigarettes? No. Okay, do you have your medical card? No, I don't smoke anything. I said that to you. I didn't say that, of course, because I'm polite. Then she says, hey, we need to have you come in for a urine test. When can you do that? I'm like, thinking to myself, I literally just told you that you're a 2-hour round trip and our car isn't reliable to get there. And I said, I don't know. The car, there's an issue. And then she says, okay, well, if you can try and be here within the end of the month, that'd be great. What the fuck? Why don't people listen? What the fuck? It's so irritating. It's like for every one good medical experience I have like 10 that are just irritating and ugh. So when I got the call from the doctor, I'm pretty sure that they're going to have me come in for a urine test before they can refill my prescription. And at that point, I guess I just don't take that medicine anymore because, and the pain management person here in town is only here 1 day a week from like 2 to 5 because he's doing surgery in the mornings. So, I'll make those calls in the morning. I have to call the podiatrist and the pulmonary person and then call the pain management people back to find out what next set of hoops I have to jump through that I probably can't. This wasn't pleasant. It's not been pleasant. So we'll see what happens. Hello, everyone. Here is your mid-October update. I made calls to a podiatrist here in town. I made calls to a pulmonary doctor, pulmonology. Sadly, they could not get me in until March. So I'm gonna be waiting on that one for a minute. So the saga will be ongoing. Ugh. And then I made a call to the pain management place, and that has been a freaking nightmare. I get a call a couple of days later saying, hey, we need you to call back and talk to the doctor himself, because I didn't talk to him at all. He can't let your prescription go through until you do. And I thought, okay, why wasn't that told to me on the phone? Why wasn't that communicated to me in a way that I could plan for that? And the last week has been the most annoying game of phone tag. I called them the next day at 9, like 9:05, 9:10. I don't like to call right when they open, out of respect, because they're probably swamped when they, open the doors. I was like, hey, I was told I need to call back and talk to the doctor. Well, he doesn't get in until 11. What? I didn't say that. I was just, in my head, I'm like, what? I reiterated again. I work thirds. I sleep during the day. Can you please let him know I called? Okay. Got a call back from him later that day saying, hey, this is the doctor. Can you please call me back at your earliest convenience? Well, my earliest convenience is not his earliest convenience. So I call back the next day. I was like, hey, I got a call from the doctor. I'm calling back. And the lady on the phone was like, she must have been having a bad day or something, because she was super just, what's this in relation to? Well, he called me. About what? About my prescription. You need to talk to the prescription people. I was like, okay. Can you transfer me to them? She did. No please hold, no nothing. I get them. I was like, hey, I go through the same thing again. I was, transferred here. I was supposed to talk to the doctor about my prescription. I can't get it until I talk to him. Well, why'd they send you here? The lady said, well, you need to talk to the office manager. Fine. Can you please transfer me? Yes, please hold. Awesome. She's way more polite than the last one. I'm irritated now. Go to the office manager, and it rings and rings and rings and rings and rings and rings, and gets to a voicemail. I leave a voicemail and just explain what's going on, and to please have her or the doctor call me back. I'm usually in bed by this time. Are there any days that the doctor is there before 11? Please let me know. Full day goes by. I didn't get a call back that day at all. The next day, I get a response from her saying, we got your message. Please call the doctor at your earliest convenience. So we're going in a loop now. So I called as early as I could the next day, went directly to the office manager on the options, because there's so many options. Again, it rang and rang and rang, went to voicemail, left another voicemail. Oh, and it was a different office manager this time, so there's more than one. So I was like, hello, I'm returning a call from this person about, I just kind of ran through the whole situation again. And at this point, I'm just kind of, can we plan a time? And I said this on the message. I was like, can the doctor plan a time to call me so I know to expect it? I can't just stay up, and I can't just keep making these random calls and then having these random calls back. I understand that he has his schedule. I have my schedule. My schedule is a little more firm. I like to be in bed by a certain time. I like to try and be asleep by a certain time. Falling asleep is difficult for me, as some of you know, because I have to get more tired than the pain that's always there. So I leave this message, and I get a call back the next day from this person saying, hi, this is the office manager. I've gotten your message, and I've listened to your other messages. You need to call the front desk and ask to speak to the doctor directly, which I did. That was the step one of this entire phone tag process, was me calling what I thought was the front desk and asking for the doctor. It's been not fun trying to get a hold of him. And normally I would just be like, whatever. But my prescription is in stasis because he needs to talk to me first. Because I was told he needs to talk to you to finish up your virtual call from the other day. And I thought to myself, if he needs to finish up the virtual call, why wasn't he there for it? If he's not there until 11, then don't schedule the virtual call until 11. Then I can talk to the two people and then him to finish it up. Because I was told when I went to the second lady that she was the exit portion of the call. That she would finish me up and then I'd be done. That wasn't the case, apparently. Apparently, the doctor himself needed to talk to me about something. So, to rewind, I made the appointment with the podiatrist, and I made that for yesterday. Yesterday morning, I get ready, I go in, and then the woman at the counter, who was the same one I talked to on the phone last Tuesday, because Monday was their earliest opening. On the phone, I was like, she sounds really old. And I get there, and she was really old. I swear, she's got to be pushing 90. And that's not a knock on her at all. Fair play to her for being able to work that long with no issues and for having somewhere that will still employ her. I assume she's been there for a long time, and they just have her on because she is experienced. So I go in there, and she's all, why are you here? And I'm thinking, because you scheduled me. And I said, I have an appointment with the doctor at 8:45. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Of course, I'm not saying, this is how I'm saying it in my head. She tells me that the doctor won't be there for another half hour, 45 minutes. So I told her, what time does the office officially open? Opens at 9. Okay. Thinking, why did you schedule me at 8:45 then? And trust me, I make a lot of appointments for a lot of crap. I have never been wrong about the time. So, what's the soonest visit? And that was today, this morning at 9 a.m. And I said, can you give me a card, please? I was like, I'm not going to go through this again. It's not easy for me to get ready and get in the car and drive. Like, even if it's in town, traveling is not easy for me. And the multiple hour trips are really rough. Made that appointment, came home yesterday. And it was about 9-ish. I thought I will wait for an hour and see if anyone calls me from the pain management place. Because that's the main reason I wanted to come home. Because they open at 9, and I wanted to be here at 9 if possible. Because who knows, maybe the doctor comes in at 9 on some days, or a miracle day, or an opposite day. My arm is starting to fall asleep, holding this selfie stick. I wait until about 9:45, start getting sleepy, my pills start kicking in. So I'm like, I'll just lay down. And I did that thing where you're asleep, you start falling asleep, but you'll keep yourself awake. And I'll look at my phone, and then I'll kind of drift off. Then I'll wake myself back up. And I did that for an hour. So I said to myself, I'll give myself till 11, maybe 11:05, 11:10, maybe. And if I don't hear anything, I'll just kind of be done. Because I'm not particularly happy with the place. It's very, I don't know. I think even if I lived in town, I wouldn't be a very big fan. But it would be more tolerable because I'd be, in the same city. And then at 10:55, lo and behold, I get a call on my screen from them. And I pick it up and I'm like, hello. Sounding like an elderly person myself. And it must have sounded really sleepy because the woman on the phone was kind of chuckling to herself. She's like, is this Phillip? I'm like, yeah. She says, well, you have the doctor on the phone. Can you talk to him? I'm like, yep. So I get him on the phone. He's like, hey. I'm like, hey. Been playing phone tag. And it was literally a call that lasted maybe 30 seconds. I was playing phone tag for over a week and a half for a call that lasted maybe 30 seconds. It's par for the course with this man, I think. I think he just tries to Sonic the Hedgehog his way through all of his visits and all of his interactions with his patients. I don't know. I'm afraid for him to ever do any kind of surgery on me, neck pain stuff, because it'd probably take him 5 seconds because we would just zip right through it. And they're talking about, hey, we haven't been able to get a hold of each other, lasted longer than the actual talk about anything else. It was the most nothing conversation. He's like, well, your prescription was on hold until I could talk to you. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to need you to come in for a urine test. And I told him, hey, we're having car issues. I don't have a reliable transportation. I live in this city, which is a 2-hour round trip from you. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just need you to come in within the next 30 days. And I asked, is my prescription being refilled dependent on the urine test? And he said, no, not this time. I've went ahead and sent it through. So I don't know what to do about that because I don't know what to do. And it's kind of irritating that I would have to make a 2-hour round trip for a 30-second urine test. It's just absurd to me. Again, if I lived in the same city as this place, it would be different, but it's not. So that's where that is. The podiatrist was this morning, and lo and behold, there was a nice male doctor, which is Unheard of. Super nice guy. Listened to what I had to say. Apparently what was going on with my foot is nothing serious, has nothing to do with blood circulation or age or anything like that. It's just, it happens. And nothing to be concerned about. It happens once in a while. And I also had some more blood work done. Yay, that's fun. I think this time the blood work was for to see if there were any issues that they could find in my blood with like the immune system. Ironically, the woman taking my blood had the same exact birthday as me. So we bonded over having birthdays in December, where we got the combo Christmas birthday present every year, because that was fun and fair. At the end of the month, I have the neurosurgeon visit. I'm not optimistic about it at all. Hello, everyone. This is the update, the final update for October 2024. Oh, man. What a month. I went and saw the neurosurgeon yesterday. Didn't start off so good. I am currently at the neurosurgeon's office. My appointment was at 8:30. It is currently 9:30. I've been back here for an hour. I was told I was next 40 minutes ago. But after that hour, he finally came in. I'm not going to go blow by blow on what was said. It was just a lot of me, the same thing. Like whenever I talk to somebody new, it's always kind of the same thing, because it kind of has to be. I have to catch people up to speed on what's going on with me. So the accident in 2009, neck stuff, won't heal, all these things I've tried, etc., etc. The visit went about a half hour or so, and he took the time to talk to me, which I always appreciate. And my fears of someone, I sound so jingoist, and I don't mean to. Like I've said before, I don't care if someone is a foreign doctor. I don't care. I just want them to be able to understand what I'm saying and communicate. And he was. Like he was fine in that regard. So after going over all the stuff that was wrong with me and everything I've been through and everything I've tried, he was asking questions. Did you try this? Did you try this? Okay, you have this vertigo stuff now. It's been going on since this. How did it start? I had to go over all these things. That's why these visits are so long for me, because I have to go over all these things. So I have all these things. You know, have you tried physical therapy? Yes. Have you tried BPPV therapy? Yes. Have you tried injection therapy? Yes. Have you tried hot and cold therapy methods? Yes. Stretches and posture correction motions? Yes. Just a checklist of thing. Did I try it? Yes. Did I try it? Yes. Did I try it? Yes. So after going over all this stuff, he says to me that there's no surgical procedure that can fix what's wrong with me. And he admitted that he doesn't know what's wrong with me. That he's never encountered someone like me, like my case, and what's going on with me. I even had him put his hands like back here to feel, and he could feel the deficit. And he used a technical term for it. He said neck muscles are difficult because, of course, there's a lot of them, but some of them are so small, and that just one, turn can activate and, use different things. So it's difficult for me to, I guess, not just because the whole bowling ball and toothpicks thing that I have going on, but there's so many numerous tiny muscles. It's like you can't work them all. So it was just nice to hear that, hey, there's no surgery for you. It sucks to hear. Like you want the cure all, but it's also nice to know, hey, there's nothing surgically I can do for you, which I appreciated. Mostly because, as some of you know, during the What's Wrong With Me series time, the runaround I got from the doctors and just how I was treated. And it was pretty much, oh yeah, we can fix you. Yeah, we can fix you. Of course we can fix you. Spoiler, they couldn't. So he says, since we can't do anything for you surgically, what we can try and do for you is try to minimize the amount of pain that you're in. The idea is, I'd go downstairs real quick to grab it. What's on the table right now is this spinal cord stimulation. It's not something we're doing yet. It's just a possible option where they like put something inside of you, and it is supposed to block pain receptors, so you don't feel the pain anymore. So that's on the table. But there are steps to get to that. It's not something that we would do right away. But he asked if I was seeing a pain management person. I said yes. I described the experience, described the doctor. It's very good. In order to do this procedure, there's a pre-procedure they have to do, like a test procedure, where they see if the method would even be beneficial at all.
It's like a little not a trial run because they don't put something inside of you to see if it works, but they do something to see if blocking the pain receptors is something that will give you pain relief. Because if it doesn't, then what's the point? Again, awesome. Let's not do unnecessary surgeries that I don't need or procedures I don't need that'll just rack up a medical bill that also don't need. So again, cool that we have evolved medicine for some people and treatments to the point that it's not just about profit for everyone. And it is, but it's nice to not be taken to the cleaners for no reason. I have to make an appointment with a pain management person he wants me to see. I tried to make an appointment when I got home, and the person that makes the appointments wasn't in the office, so I have to call tomorrow. And once I get that appointment scheduled, I'll cancel the appointment with the other pain management person, and they're both equidistant. This one is north, like the other person, but not the same person that was north. Like, if I'm here, the person south that I didn't like was here. The person that was referred to last time was up here. The person that he wants me to see is over here. So it's still going to be an hour and a half drive there, an hour and a half drive back. But as I've said before, I have to gauge, is the care I'm receiving, the treatment I'm receiving, worth the trip that we're taking? And then he ordered more x-rays of my spine. I had those done. He said, you can do it in the building. Just go to this place. So I did. I got made fun of again because my license doesn't look like me, but it doesn't expire until like 2041. So why would I change it? I'm sitting there, and then the guy says, "Oh, this is some kind of radiology X-ray. We don't do that here. You have to go to the main hospital, which is go out here, make a left, go down the hall, make a right, take the elevator, step to the second floor, go left, go across the thing, turn right, go across the thing, find elevators, go down to the elevators, find the information desk, ask them where the thing is, go straight back there." It was a whole thing. By this point, we're already way later in the day than we wanted to be because of the hour wait. So I was just tired. I was cranky. I was already in pain because I had a setback last Wednesday, a vertebra in my back between my shoulder blades. I was laying down to go to sleep, and I must have just twisted wrong or laid wrong, and they just crunched like if you were to step on a pack of peanuts. And then when that happens, I get the pain up here from whatever shifted because everything's connected. So I had to do that, plus being in the car, plus the trip. And I get there and they're like, "Your blood pressure's really high." I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm very stressed out right now and I'm in a lot of pain. But yeah, I go to the other place, get the x-rays done. They were super nice. And they were positioning me. And one of the women says, "Have you ever thought about having surgery?" I had my shirt on, my hoodie on, my hat on, the whole thing. And I thought to myself, if they notice that my neck and back are in such a state of disrepair, like this, if you see an x-ray, or if I wasn't even turned to a profile view, I was just talking in like this. If it's that noticeable, like this, we had those done, and then we finally got to leave and come home and go to bed. Oh my God. We didn't get home till almost noon. It'd be like if you worked first shift and got home from an appointment at 2 a.m. It was not fun. So I'm very tired. I didn't get enough sleep. So I have a follow-up with a neurosurgeon in December, but that is going to be a virtual call. He said since I live so far away that it's not necessary for me to drive there, which is very cool. Once we go see his pain management person and get the ball rolling on what we can do with that. Fingers crossed that it is a more pleasant experience than the other one down south. And then once I get that scheduled, hopefully tomorrow, I will cancel the other one and never see that person again. And I will just have to see what I can do about getting my prescriptions transferred or moved or however that works. I don't know. I see the ENT again in November. So November's will just be so far it's one appointment, but I'm not sure when I can see the pain management person. That might be sooner than I think. Hopefully it's before the next neurosurgeon appointment so we can kind of get the ball rolling on things. Also, almost forgot to mention, the neurosurgeon asked, "Have you ever thought about going to a specialty clinic like the Cleveland Institute or whatever it's called?" And I said, yes, like the Mayo Clinic, stuff like that. And I said, yes, I've mentioned it in the past to people and said that I wouldn't qualify to go there. And he said, well, given that you've taken all the steps and we have all these medical records and this proof that you've done all these things to try and heal and get better and all this stuff. These weren't his exact words. I'm trying to remember what he said. He said that there's more than enough on the table to okay something like that, to contact them, to reach out and try and schedule some kind of appointment with them. So that is potentially on the table as well. Because I was telling him the problem is my neck muscles won't grow and stay. They grow, but then they atrophy and spasm, or I have setbacks and everything just, one step forward, two steps back. The vertigo, dizziness stuff is kind of where it is right now. Just kind of like Justin's favorite phrase, it is what it is. I'm not sure what to do about it. Tried medication, that doesn't work. We've tried stretches and eye movement exercises, and that doesn't work. So I'm not sure what else to do about that, which is worrying. I'm not giving up, but no one can tell. My life is just like, there's this thing wrong with me. Well, what's wrong with me? Well, it's this. Well, why is this happening? We don't know. Nothing. We can't figure. I have problems that don't have answers, and that's really frustrating. It's just frustrating. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I feel like there's so much more I want to say, but I woke up maybe a half hour ago, so my brain isn't fully awake yet, but I had to get this recorded as soon as possible. The visit actually went better with the neurosurgeon than I expected, and hopefully that continues, and hopefully the new pain management people are cool. Well, the other ones were cool. It was a doctor I didn't care for. Hopefully this doctor is better. But I will keep you updated as things happen. November, I said, is the ENT appointment. I will be doing a video on that. Blood pressure is okay-ish. It was high at the doctor. Like, stressful situations spike it now, which makes sense. I just don't like that it's so finicky now that it can do that. Unfortunately, blood pressure and the vertigo, dizziness don't seem to be related. Like, when I have a really bad vertigo spell, I take my blood pressure just to check, and for the most part, it's fine, which sucks. You want it to be related, because then, hey, if I lower the blood pressure, then, hey, I can fix the vertigo, dizziness, which there doesn't seem to be a fix for it. And it's not just the vertigo and the dizziness, it's the brain fog. Like, I feel like if I were the people in this pamphlet, I'm here, like I'm in the here, and the brain fog is all around me. Like I in here I can think and function and do cognitive abilities. Just everything else is just surrounded by this fog and haze. And we've had the brain scan, so there was no signs of any kind of problems there that I was also worried about. So I don't know what this is. But I'm on some kind of path, so hopefully we can figure something out and get some answers. At the very least, maybe we can figure out a way to minimize and manage my pain, because medication doesn't work. The hydrocodone, gabapentin, Celebrex, none of it works. But I'm hoping that something gets figured out with this as well, because this is getting incredibly frustrating, and it's not fun. It's not fun. Thank you so much for still sticking around, those that do and have. Thank you to the patrons that are still there. I try and edit in bite-sized pieces if I can. I'm hoping that if I can figure out some kind of smaller sample editing process for myself that doesn't make me feel like I need to go lay down or make the already existing migraines I have worse. If I can figure something out, I can get a video out once every couple months. I know it's nothing like it was, but something's better than nothing. I'm trying to figure something out, because obviously whatever's going on here isn't going away. So can I adapt my life to what life is now, like I had to do with this? We'll see. But I don't want to make any promises or get anyone's hopes up, but I'm going to do my best to just see what I can do. And as always, send good vibes, good juju my way, positive energy, all that stuff. Send an exorcist or a witch doctor or something to this demon that is possessing me and has for 15 years can be exorcised. Its claws are in my brain, and it is making it hard to think and concentrate and do things. And that sucks. I will talk to you in November, and we'll see what's going on from there. See you then. Talk to you then.